Going on, Aries? I hope you are doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be a reading for March 14th to the 20th, 2022. So in this reading, Aries, we're going to take a look at some upcoming opportunities and challenges coming your way for the upcoming week. We're also going to close off the reading with some advice and messages from your angels and spirit guides. So you are all definitely very welcome here in this space with me, Aries. I appreciate the fact that you have taken the time to check out the reading. I appreciate it greatly. If you find that this reading resonates with you, this general reading, then don't forget to like and subscribe, Aries. I would also greatly appreciate that. Happy birthday, by the way, to all of you out there who have a birthday coming up for sure. I'm digging the energy this March. So let's go ahead and see what's going on, though. Give me a minute, Aries, and we'll see what wants to come through. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Aries. One more here, Aries. One more. Okay. Wow. Well, I like the looks of this, Aries. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump into this reading for you. It's pretty jam-packed with intensity, if you ask me. But this top row, Aries, is your opportunity slot. So we have the 5 of Wands, we have the 9 of Pentacles, and also the 10 of Pentacles in your opportunity for this week coming up. What's coming through very strongly right away is a lot of you stepping up and almost like becoming very disciplined in order to manifest long-term wealth. So the opportunity, obviously, with the 9 of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles talks about the physical side of life and manifesting a positive physical experience on this planet. And a lot of you may have put in a lot of groundwork, Aries, that have gotten you to this point to where you have an ability to kind of put your head down and really put in the work to manifest something. It's almost like a lot of you have a plan because you have the Ace of Swords, the Emperor, is your challenge, though. So there may be a different way that you're going to relate to going about work, and the idea of like, it's almost like changing, like maybe not being so hard on yourself, but the opportunity as well. You have the 5 of Wands, which talks about competition, sharpening your skills. And so this card says, don't be afraid to kind of, especially in your opportunity, don't be afraid to get competitive in order to maybe increase your finance or like, long-term financial plan is what I'm sensing. Finding a way, it's almost like some of you, not for all of you, but you may be like fighting for your right to be financially successful. That's your opportunity this week for a lot of you. We're going to clarify to really see what's going on with that, but it looks pretty good. Now, for a lot of you in your challenge, the Ace of Swords, Emperor, and the Star, some of you could very well be dealing with an overbearing masculine figure in your life. This could be a boss at work, Aries. And the Ace of Swords here in your challenge is that it's either that someone knows something about you potentially, or you know something about this Emperor in your life that maybe you feel like with the 5 of Wands here in the opportunity, you have an opportunity to kind of stand up to someone here and claim your right for financial independence and long-term wealth. So maybe this is a battle between you and your partner for some of you, and there's not a lot of mental clarity. You're at the Ace of Swords in the challenge, the Emperor in the challenge. There could be someone who you feel is blocking you from healing as well, because you also have the Star card in your challenge, okay? And this is the opportunity to kind of claim some sort of, but this is kind of inner. But what I sense going on here, Emperor to the Ace of Swords, Aries, in the challenge, there's almost someone blocking your way potentially, and you know it. For others of you, though, if you're not dealing with another person, which I feel actually a lot of you are, then if you're not dealing with a person, though, Aries, there's there could be a lack of discipline, okay? Because your opportunity is to get discipline to create long-term wealth. Your challenge, lack of mental clarity, and the Emperor, what I would say to that is like, a wrong decision is better than indecision, okay? When you're focused on building wealth, a wrong decision is better than indecision because you can always learn something and push forward. But now there's somehow love involved with this, Aries. So you have the Nine of Cups. We're going to clarify that in a second. The Nine of Cups, the Lovers, and also the Nine of Swords in your advice from Spirit. So it seems like you're reaching an end of a cycle where something's really bothering you with a person or like a lack of decision. And there's something here with the advice is to like, to put your head down and do what you know you have to do here, Aries, in order to improve the situation. The Lover's card is also here in the advice. So this may be someone that you have to keep in your life that you feel is blocking you, but it's like send them love. Like Jesus said, pray to your enemies, Aries. Like if you have someone who's blocking your way, what you actually want to do is the counterintuitive thing. It's like a reality inversion. You send them positive energy because this reality is really just a projection of your consciousness. Okay, so here's what I would do if you're dealing with someone who you feel is like, if they were just not here, right? They're the one blocking me. If they weren't here, I'd be so happy. But you're kind of stuck with them. So here's what I feel Spirit is calling you to do here, Aries. Ready? You can actually brighten whoever this Emperor is, you can brighten your peers' day by seeing them in a positive state, okay? So because what you put out is what you get back, so they will create a positive mental picture about you because once again, what you put out is what you get back. So it's counterintuitive, but if you feel there's someone who I feel is blocking your way, could be a lover you're in a dispute with, family member, right? You need to send them positive energy, okay? Because then you can only receive positive energy in return. So people get into a negative cycle of battling. You don't want to battle with the world here, okay? That's the old paradigm. It doesn't really work as well anymore. It's all about removing blockages simply here, Aries. So we're going to have to clarify to really see what's going on, but I would, yeah, I don't know. Sorry if I'm like ranting. Just kind of get in the flow and go. But no ego, we go. As Wim Hof says, the great Iceman. Wim Hof, check him out. He's a great cold plunger, cold water therapy. But let's go ahead and keep in alignment with your reading, Aries. Let's go ahead and clarify why this Five of Wands is here in your opportunity for the 14th to the 20th, 2022. Okay. Why is the Five of Wands here for Aries? Okay, so the Five of Wands is clarified by the Aloneness card in your opportunity. So there may be an opportunity to disconnect from the idea of someone holding you back, of any sort of competition, because the truth is about this reality, Aries, is that if something is truly yours, then you'll have it. If something was imposed on you by social conditioning and you're not really on your true path, then it may not go well for you. So don't worry about competition in your opportunity. It's to turn your back on stereotypes. You know, I would say give yourself the ability to scoff at stereotypes, because when you do that, you can become original, you can become authentic and not look to the outside for validation, which is the cornerstone of happiness, if you ask me. As long as you're basing your inner state on the external world, you're screwed no matter what you got going on, Aries. So it's important to turn your back on competition. Of course, learn from others, look into what they're doing, but if you're always worried about that, that could be very much so holding you back. So there's an opportunity here with this Emperor, if that's what's holding you back, to go your own way. Also in your challenge, the Ace of Swords to the Emperor, what I actually sense, I wish I freaking said this in the beginning, some of you may be building wealth in a particular way that may not actually be the way you need to do it. The Ace of Swords, the Emperor in your challenge, if this is not an overbearing individual who is kind of heaping restraints upon you, it may be your own inner dialogue that says, I have to wake up at 5 in the morning in order to have a successful long-term financial business. Like, I have to be the Emperor, I have to have mental clarity. Guess what? You actually don't have to have mental clarity. You just have to have discipline, but like in a different way, because the star is here and you're challenged. So I'm telling you, whatever way that you've been like it's almost like people with the Five of Wands have been heaping, Aries, you got to do it this way, whatever you're doing in your life, and that's causing you stress. It's not working out, Spirit is saying. You have to heal that, and yes, still work hard, Aries. Still pour your energy, dedicate your energy to what you want to create, but maybe don't do it in the way that would appease other people or that you think you have to do it. Now, this happened to me, you know. Before I had this tarot channel, I was building other YouTube channels. One of them didn't really do so well. And I had all of these hang-ups that I needed to do it a certain way that other people told me to do. Once I switched my name to the Autistic Mystic and I was just authentic, I let it all go and I just let my soul loose. That's when success started to come to me. And so some of you, Aries, may need to let go of the way people, like, just because you read something in a book, it could be someone else's process and not your process, because there's a million different ways to get places. And you're going to have a path that may not be it may not be honored by other people. And so your true path, like, it's always important to be alone for a period of time. So I don't know, this is just what's coming through, Aries. Let's go ahead also here and clarify why the Star card is here in your challenge. Why is it hard for you to maybe do what we're saying here or move into it to a healing state? Because the basis of healing, to heal is to experience the opposite. So if you have a negative frequency, to heal is to experience in general the opposite frequency. Okay, yeah, the star is clarified. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up, Aries. The star is clarified by the tuning in card and the conditioning card. So this is literally exactly what we've been saying. I love the fact that they were jumpers. The fact that you've honestly, if this is a person, the Emperor, or this is just social conditioning, you've let others get in your head about how it is you need to do something. You don't need to do that because it's causing you stress. You have your own individual path, and most often it involves with like doing things that you love instead of like just things people tell you and impose upon you. Also, the conditioning card here, you're a lion among sheep right now, Aries. And so to heal is to be more raw, to be more your true self, but not in the way that, like, okay, I'm going to stop repeating it, but you get the picture here. Not in the way that other people tell you to. Be strong in your own way, because everyone knows that the greatest power in the universe requires the lightest touch, Aries. So sometimes when you force it and it's another person's path, it's not really for you, the universe is going to take you out of that path. It's going to put you maybe in a few setbacks, but then it allows you to go on your true path. But it takes, so don't look at failure if you're learning something, if you're being imposed on, don't look at it as negative, just look at it as a learning experience. So I hope this is making sense, Aries. But let's go ahead and move on as well to this advice from your spirit guides. Let's go ahead and see why the Lovers is here and the advice from your spirit guides. Very interesting. Let's go ahead and see. It's going to mean a lot of different things for a lot of different people. For a lot of you in this reading, I just sensed that. But let's go ahead and see. Maybe not. Lovers is clarified by the Courage card. So you're going to have courage to choose to love yourself. You know, a question to ask yourself every day, Aries, is what would someone who loved themselves do? You know, if you're faced with any sort of indecision or like a commitment or like something you have to do, say, what would someone who loved themselves do? You know, it's very important to do that. But you have to have courage to do that, because for some of you, this is like the Strength card. You see the lion again. It's in traditional tarot. So there's almost like an act of aloneness, turning your back on what other people think you should do and just having the courage to love yourself first and foremost. Because if you don't love yourself, how are you going to love anyone else, Aries? It doesn't work like that. And that's what the rat race trap of the Matrix is it puts people into a place where they live their whole life because they're trying to get love from other people, and then they find out that it doesn't even matter. Like, it's all about self-love. So you just go there first, even though people will look at you weird when you do that. The spiritual people won't. They'll be like, I know what you're doing. So yeah, Aries, that's what I see here. I'm going to conclude this reading. It's very intense, but just be prepared for maybe a realignment in your values this week that leads you to more abundance on your true path. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching this reading, Aries. If you want more information on your situation, feel free to book a personal reading with me. You can find the information on that in the description box underneath this video. It's always an honor to work with you guys one-on-one. So much fun. I'd be interested to see what's going on here. But either way, I'll talk to you next week on your next reading, Aries. I hope you have a great one. This is the Autistic Mystic. Peace.